So a trinomial, again, is a three-termed polynomial. Polynomial meaning with multiple terms. And a being not equal to 1, that is the leading coefficient. The one that's connected to your squared term is not going to be 1 this time. I kind of started you all off nice. I did not put any greatest common factor, but typically that's always what you look for first. But for these first 2 days, I didn't want to confuse you by adding that in. So we just have, normally that's the first step you look for, is to see is there anything that can divide into all 3 terms. It's not going to be the case again for today. They're all going to be to where you can just factor them. We're again going to use the box method. You can factor with other methods. I'm showing you the box because it tends to be the best for more students. There are a lot of people that can do, if you are good at mental math, you can probably do these in your head. And what I'm going to teach you on Thursday and Friday is another way of showing the work where you can do it for these as well. I'm not teaching it for these, but there's a way to do it for these. So if you look at like Khan Academy or other videos at times, you may see factoring by grouping done for this. Okay, so factoring trinomials with a not equal to 1. Our first problem, we have 6x squared minus x minus 15. So what 2 things am I going to multiply?
6x squared and 15.
6x squared and 15. Is it going to be a positive 15 or a negative 15?
Negative 15.
So I want to end up with a negative what?
Negative 90x squared.
Okay. So we're going to look for factoring pairs that will give us to where each of them are going to have an x. One's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. Do you want me to put the negatives in the first or second column? Does it matter to y'all?
No.
I'll put it in the second one. Okay. So when I have a positive and negative, when I combine them, they're subtracting, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So let's think of things that can multiply to give me 90. So 10 and 9 is 1, and that kind of gives you the one that's going to work. So if I put 10 here and a 9 here, that gives me a positive 1. X. Is that what I need?
Yes. Oh, no. Oh, negative 1.
So I need to put the 9 here and the 10 here. So it gives me that negative 1x. It may not happen the first try. It may be where you have to go through multiple factors. So you're just basically making up what all the factors. So you could have done 30 and 3, but that wouldn't have worked. Or 1 and 90. Or 4 and... I don't remember the number. It was a decimal, never mind. And so there are multiple ones that you could try to get in there. 5 and what? 18?
Yes. 18.
And so don't give up when the first one doesn't work. And if you go through your list and you can't find one, look and see what other components you can take and move around. These are going to be a little bit more... you're going to have larger numbers today for some of the problems. And then what goes in the other diagonal?
6x squared and negative 15.
Just in case I didn't show well enough. Okay, so in the first row, what number will divide into both of those? 2. The farthest away from where I'm writing it, is it positive or negative?
Positive.
So it's positive. On the second row,
3.
3. Farthest away, is it positive or negative? Now let's do the first column.
3x.
And is it going to be positive or negative?
Positive.
Second column.
5x.
Or just 5,
Negative 5.
Negative 5. Because the farthest away is negative. Are you seeing how I'm saying with the farthest away? Are y'all seeing where I'm pulling that from?
Yes.
And this only works if you do the numbers on the bottom and on the right-hand side. So that creates our two parentheses. One parenthesis being 3x minus 5. The other parenthesis being 2x plus 3. When y'all were doing this yesterday, did y'all notice anything with the signs? When this was negative, what always was the case?
They're opposite.
When that last number was positive, what was always the case?
They're negative.
If they're positive,
Oh, they're both.
they're the same sign. Could they both be negative? Could they all both be positive?
Yeah. Okay.
So this sign here tells you whether they're opposite or not. This sign will also tell you whether they're the same or not, depending on if it's positive or negative. Let's do one more. 15x squared plus 26x plus 8. So what do I multiply together?
15x squared times 8. That's 120.
Okay. Are we going to be looking for the same sign or opposite signs? Same. And so they both have an x. So if I try, what's one of the factors that you can see straight off? 60 times 2? That gives me 62. How about 10? 10's a nice one if it ends in 0. 10 times 12.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
That's 22. 4, you said?
40 times 4.
So what are you trying to look for?
We're trying to look for the things that will multiply to give me 120 that will add to give me that 26.
20 times 6.
20 times 6?
Oh, dang.
And some of you are going to come up to it quicker. Others are going to do like I usually did, made an entire list, and the last one's the one that worked. One thing that you can do if you have troubles with this is take one column and start going through. 1 times, is there anything that 1 works? 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and so forth until you find the one that works. And so if you get stuck and you cannot find it, start going through that pattern. You're going to create a longer list, but then you're going to end up finding it quicker. And so 20 and 6, so 20x and 6x. Doesn't matter which spot I put them in,
No.
as long as they're in that the diagonal going from the bottom left to the top right. And then the ones that were already there is at 15x squared and 8. So for my first row, a 3x, positive or negative?
Positive.
Because the farthest away is positive. Second row,
2. 4.
2 or 4? Which is it?
4.
4, because 4 will divide into both numbers. And the 20, the farthest away, is positive.
5x.
So for our first column, 15 and 20 is 5, and then the x. And 6x and 8, 2. Again, farthest away is positive. So my two parentheses And that's your answer. Oh, wrong tool.